experimenting. I think I'm going to bring this down just a little bit. This camera gives me a little bit wider view. Actually, my cell phone. Using my cell phone, I'm wearing my glasses so I can actually see what's going on. Don't expect anybody to show up at, what is it, 4 in the morning? No, I'm looking for my phone to check the time. I'm using my phone. Don't expect anybody to show up at 4 something in the morning to watch my live video, but as I said in my last news video, I might run a test. So hello everybody, my name is Brad. This is my channel, I'm an Orange. I'm in my basement studio, rearranging the lights here because I didn't do that beforehand. Pardon me. Because this is just a test. This is an actual emergency. I don't know if YouTube has the emergency broadcast system. Anyway, you can kind of see more of what's going on behind me here, usually with the camera that I normally use, which is this Canon Vixia right here. It doesn't have quite such a wide angle, so you can see a bit of the Star Wars models up here. There's the Mega R2, and yeah, Star Wars, you never can see it because I'm always in front of it, but Star Wars collection is right here in the middle from here up. Still haven't ever finished organizing the shelf. Yeah, I'm rambling on my live video because there's no point other than just to test this out and see how it's going. I'm talking to myself. That's okay. I do that a lot. It's just fine. Back on my head. Put my Santa hat on. Got some excess noise because, oh look, the train is right on time. This is one of the reasons I never do live, because train. There's so frequently a train. Did I misplace them again? There they are. So in preparation for the drawing later today, I've got a bunch of strips of paper. Oh, there goes the heat. I should have turned that off. Unexpected view behind the scenes of what it's like trying to record in here. Oh, and drop a piece of paper. Should probably hook up my USB cable so that we don't lose power. I think I need to clean out my cord slot, charge slot. So I printed out the names of all the gift cards, and they are going to go, I want to fold them in half and put them in the hat. I'm going to do that later. Anyway, I'm assuming that even though no one is watching right now, and that's fine, and I don't actually expect anybody to tune in, I'm assuming that what's going to happen is YouTube will save this video and you'll be able to watch it later on. So for anybody that does tune in later to catch my ramblings, you know, I keep getting asked to do a kind of talk about the video, or not videos, but the models that I have on my shelf behind me, and I just never do it. Not that I don't want to talk about it, but it's time consuming. There's a lot back here. Oof, there's a lot back here, and you can't even really see everything. Because while this is a wider angle, and I hesitate to mess with the camera, there's a number of models down lower that you can't see. I have my Star Trek models down here, and I'm overdue for a dusting. Picked up a cheap makeup brush from the Dollar Tree for dusting. Doing that wrong. It's, you know, an okay solution. Be nice if I had a plexiglass way of storing it. That would create a lot of reflection when I do my videos. On the other hand, I could open it up long enough to do videos and close it. It's just something I've never put the time in trying to work out. But oh, it's a mess. Maybe I'm careful. Maybe. Let's see if we can do this. Just playing around. Detach this. Okay, here we go. This might work. You can see down here is a jumble of unorganized. Got a couple of cups over there for drinking water that I need to deal with. Drink a lot of water. I don't drink a lot of anything else, mostly water. But anyway, we've got a slew of things. We've got the Halo stuff over here. The gun that never wants to stay on its stand. What's it? Here's part of the problem with doing a tour of my models. I can't always remember what they are, what they're called. I'm terrible with remembering names, and even if I remember them, I'm terrible of actually recalling names when I need to. So you're gonna have to forgive me if I don't know what to call these things. I know these are the Halo models. I believe that's the Pelican. That's the Guardian here. There's Master Chief's helmet. I think that's a Warthog. Can't remember what that is. It could be the Pelican, and this could be something else. I can't remember the name. And that's a rifle. That's a really cool ATV with guns. And I think that's a Scorpion tank that I absolutely hated that build. I hated it. We've got Voyager here, which, you know, this big arm just kind of makes it difficult to put anywhere else. We've got Hubble telescope, which was probably somewhere else until my news video a couple weeks ago when I talked about the bases that I never finished printing. Drums. Got the train back here that is no longer neat and orderly. These things get bumped around. We got, oh, I know what these are. Mass Effect ships. And I talked before about how I had made bases out of wood with magnets hidden in them and a little felt top. This is one of the bases that I did. I copied somebody else. They made a singular base. I made a set and a drill press. I have a drill press. It's not set up now, but took a block of wood. I put the models on it and kind of marked the points where the bases were, drilled holes. I can't remember exactly where, but 1, 2, or 3 holes depending on the model. It may have only been 1 or 2 for this one per model. And I have a drill bit set. I can't remember what they're called, but they drill flat holes with there's like a little poke in the middle, but they're mostly flat holes. And they're a certain kind of set, and I have them. And I drill the holes, and I put the magnets in there, and then I put a felt covering over top. And these are all held on by magnets, so they don't easily fall, but they can fall. And same with the Halo over here. This was another attempt at that style base, and it has a same thing. Put the models on the bare wood, and I marked holes and drilled and put magnets, and I think I put a thin piece of board over top, glued it down. I think that's how I did that, and then tried to stain it to match. It didn't quite work. It didn't quite work out right. It was an experiment. And these are also magnetic. And I even drilled holes up top to try and mark where to put the models so I put them on there properly. But yeah, this one's got magnets under the wheels. Anyway, not going to play with that too much. We got some of the Star Trek models here. Here's the Enterprise. There's the other Enterprise. This wonky nacelles. Klingon ship. Things get pushed around. There's the other Klingon ship. I think it fell sometime recently. The front got bent. Because that's one of the things that has happened is I have accidentally bumped them with my chair because it reclines. I'm reclining. Sometimes I pull it up and lock it up, and sometimes I forget. And we have Gatling gun. I believe that was more recent. One of the terrible gun models that I don't like to talk about. There's the I believe that's AK-47. There's the Beretta, the terrible. Don't ever buy it Beretta unless you want to torture yourself. The guitars had intended on 3D printing some stands for that. Never worked out. They don't stay on their stands. They fall over all the time. They just kind of ended up in that hole, and I haven't worried about them lately. We have Bumblebee. We have the Time for Machine Tank. It's getting crowded over here. We've got the Game of Thrones Throne. The other Game of Thrones. Yeah, I definitely need to do some dusting down here. I've been busy. There's the Sigil. There's Drogon. There's some Doctor Who stuff over in the corner. I keep holding the camera back. Doctor Who is hidden back in the back. There's insects. The complete insect collection. That's almost complete Doctor Who. We're missing the color version of K9. I think I have it. I just haven't built it because kind of for videos, what's the point? It's the same build. My one Peace School model that I really loved and wanted to do more and just haven't. I did try another one. I broke apart early on and abandoned that. I want to do more Peace School models, just no particular reason haven't. There's so many. I just haven't. We've got my tanks. I believe that's the complete Metal Earth tank collection. The bus, the fire truck, the first train that Metal Earth put out. There's the New York bus, a couple of dinos here. We've got cars, vehicles. This is like the vehicle shelf. We've got the Fords, Packard, Packard, and the other classic car, Deuce. We've got the spinner, tractor. There's some golf carts mixed in, cable car. Oh no, that's a Ford. One of those is a Deuce, and one of those is the other Packard. And the original Ford Model T, the original monster truck. I haven't got the new one yet. The Mustang back there, the original cars. We've got some Harry Potter up here with the train. I'm gonna have to go up. Gringotts Dragon. There's the original Metal Earth train. There's the Color Iconics version. There's the Color. I know this. The Weasley's Home Burrows. We've got what's his name's hut back there. We've got the Snitch, and this is a Micro World, or what are the other brands? The Cologne Cathedral that I built. You've got ships, whole shelf of ships and bridges. We've got the tanker set and the oil rig. Golden Gate Bridge, London Bridge. What's that back there? Brooklyn Bridge. Yeah. Black Pearl's back there, the Golden Hind, the Titanic, the Arizona, I believe it is. And there's more. Let me move my chair around here. Still nobody watching, that's fine. There's a couple of ferries back there. Oof. I'm gonna have to get off my butt. This chair gets stuck in grooves on the floor. All right, let's see here. I'm trying to see what I'm actually recording while I'm talking. Oh, there's some Disney stuff here. The carriage, a couple of carriages. That's the haunted one, Haunted Mansion, White House, piano, some castles, Disney castles. Let me think. One's a Sleeping Beauty, and one's Cinderella. Honestly, get them mixed up. Haunted Mansion. I'm really lucky to have it. I believe this is the exclusive Disney D whatever D23 or whatever it's called model that a lot of people want, and someone was very, very kind to send this to me, and I had no idea at the time how lucky I was to get that model. So that's amazing. Above that, just different architectural models. This Capitol building, was that JFK? No, Kennedy Center. Um, can't remember the name. Burlingame, something. Neushenberg Castle, Neuschenstein. Had a hard time getting that name right. Oh, and then we have the Harry Potter names. Oh, the castle in Harry Potter. Hogwarts. There we go. Lots more architectural models up here. Just, look at it. We've got Space Needle back there. We've got CN Tower and Seattle Towers and Burj Khalifa and the London Clock, Big Ben, Eiffel Tower, One World Trade Center, the infamous long pointy rod in the Capitol, Empire State. There's Chrysler Building. There's lots of models there. Sydney Opera House, the London Eye, Alexandra Lighthouse, and then we actually have buried back here. We have the Iconics Big Ben, Kakuji. I can't remember the name of this one off the top of my head. Loved that model. That's one of the models that got me out of building just licensed like Star Wars and Star Trek and Marvel. That's one of the ones that got me out of that rut. Love that build. Kind of stuck over here. Oof. Wrapping myself up in charger cords. Give me a second. Over here to the side, I've added a new shelf, and I moved a few things. Just like I moved some of this to make room for the newer Hogwarts in snow. Yeah. Country Church, Windmill. Oh, can't think of the names. The old one that caught on fire a little while back. And yeah, more buildings. I'm terrible with names. I know what those are. I do. I really do. I just can't think of the names. They're historic. It's amazing. Oh, and we have the Humvee model that I recently built. Down here, this turd keeps falling. Hit me in the hand the other day. It's the one that I was going to build but came assembled. It constantly comes loose, and you have to have the special tools to tighten it, and I'm just tired of screwing with it. Ooh. Big old hand. Sorry. This phone battery does not last like it should. There we go. I lost it. We'll come back to the Star Wars. Let's go over to this side here, all the way to the other end. We've got butterfly models. We've got, can't remember this guy. It's out of a manga, I believe. It's a kid that dresses up in boxes. Kind of a neat model. Movie projector, carousel, Big Ben. Not Big Ben. Holy crap. Oh yeah, the Old Man of the Sea. This is the Liberty Bell, is what I should have said. Penny Farthing, the really cool knight. The first dragon I think Middle Earth came out with, the Iconics dragon, the silver one. And Legends collection that has now been discontinued. I've got more to build. Not going to do any more videos unless somebody specifically asks, because they were a bust. But someday I hope to fill this up with all of them, just because it'd be neat to have the whole collection. I really do want to get and build them all, but it's not easy to do. Below that, Marvel. We've got the Iron Man head, Cap's shield, Thor's hammer, Iron Man, and War Machine. These are old. We've got one of the first iconics that I did, the Kawasaki. We've got this weird monstrosity that someone sent me. It's a German half-tank part motorcycle. I can't remember the pronunciation or name of it. An interesting build. We've got some. A second here to rearrange my hands and not drop my phone. Let's see. We are on this shelf. We have Freightliner, snowplow, dump truck, long nose, short nose, or cab over. We have kind of messed up crane here, some cat stuff, a dozer, the grader, backhoe, and the big dump truck. We have more ships. Set my butt back down now because I'm lazy. We have the iconic ships, the Missouri. Is that the Missouri? No, that's the Yamato. That's the Missouri, and that's the Enterprise aircraft carrier, and a 3D printed logo block that I tried back when I was doing stuff at the library. We've got our space section with the rover, the lunar module. Oh no, excuse me. That's the moon rover, and that's the Mars rover, and Kepler space station or Kepler thing in the back. Batman collection over here. Batwing, the other Batwing, the Batmobiles. You know, we got the 60s version, the 90s movie version, and the newer movie version. 2 different bat signals from different movies. We've got our part of my airplane collection. I know I'm gonna mess up here. I think that's a Warthog, maybe. You know, I just watched a video on YouTube this morning as I was waking up, where apparently this was part of the inspiration for the Mandalorian, the Razor Crest, with the engines the way they were. That's part of the artist's inspiration for designing the Razor Crest. Thought that was interesting. One of the F-1s. Oh, I cannot remember the name. Some of these have been built years ago. I think that's a Huey helicopter. Is that the Spruce Goose over there? P-51D. The somewhat dreaded Cessna that lands in water, that the pontoons are a complete pain in the butt and are partially broken. Oh, the big helicopter. I'm bad with names. There's planes. There's lots of planes. There's even more down on the shelf below it, hidden behind tucked behind the, I said this earlier, Master Chief Halo models. They're planes. I would embarrass myself trying to remember the names of all the planes. There's more helicopters. There's older planes. There's newer planes. There's bombers. There's a Cessna in there. There's more F models. Corsair, blimp. I mean, you know, there's stuff. Can't remember all the names. I'm so sorry. And over here in this corner by the guitar, trying to get a good picture and actually see what I'm getting a picture of. These are the other 3 MU models that I had built. Starscream, Optimus, and Megatron in the back. Because they're so big, they'd cover everything. I've put them over in the corner. And let's kind of sweep back to the middle here. So I'm saving the Star Wars for last. Behind the train and the Mass Effects, we have the newer bomber, the one in color, bicycle, some of the 3 of the 4, soon to be 5 armor models, the Chinese one, the European one, and the horse one. And then above that, we have Optimus. I think it's a Metal Earth version of the Optimus, the truck form. That is the Picture Kingdom version that someone sent me a while back, I guess to promote their website. They sent it to me for free. I mentioned their website. I built the model, and I think the whole website blew away, unfortunately. It happens. You understand that these 3D metal models can be a tough market because it's kind of niche. The original Metal Earth quadruplet of Transformers models, Bumblebee, Optimus, Soundwave, and excuse me, that's Optimus, Soundwave, and Megatron, Bumblebee. The Wild West carriage. This is the, oh yeah, definitely need to dust some stuff. The logging truck and trailer that I did a while back. And then we start moving into the Star Wars collection. We have 3 of the helmets that I've completed. I don't know why he's turned around like that. You've got Vader, Luke's helmet, Boba Fett. Boba Fett came back, and that's something. I wonder if we're going to get a new painted Boba Fett armor. I bet we do. Death Star, they're really cool speeder that I knew Metal Earth could do because they built this weirdo speeder, and that's from Solo. This is the Y-Wing, A-Wing. So glad to have these in my collection. Love to have, as much as I love these are a newer version. I'd love to have the older version too. The original not Death Star, Star Destroyer, color AT-AT from Disney, the original AT-AT. I think that's the original here, and this is a knockoff that I did just so I could redo the build video and learn the difference. Not as shiny, softer metal, better quality metal, more shiny. And that is the not Solo. What was the other movie? Rogue One. That was the bigger AT-AT. There's the Chicken Walker, I always called it, the AT-ST. Dust, freaking dust. Was that Kylo Ren's newest bad? No, is it? It's another TIE fighter, one of the new ones. Destroy droid. Oh, so many. Still nobody watching. That's cool. It's early. I get it. Ooh, let's see here. There's the little droid in one of the newer Star Wars movies, the one that's shy. No, thank you. Slave One back there in the back, hands in the way. Oh, the bomber. This is the Disney exclusive land speeder, AT Hauler, the speeder in Solo, snow speeder, a lot of speeders. Another Disney exclusive. This is one of the rides. There's the, what is that? The A-Wing? Y-Wing? It's one of the wings. I'm getting them mixed up, honestly. Another speeder from Solo. The snow speeder, the newer snow speeder that got cut out of Star Wars movie, but they still released the model. Skid speeder thingy, that hunk of junk. I should throw that in water and let it rust. It'd be more realistic. And we have shuttles. We have the Imperial shuttle. We have Kylo Ren's tie buried back here. We have, is this Kylo Ren shuttle? And then another tie, striker, Darth Vader's tie, Poe's X-Wing, Special Forces tie or something like that. 2 of the regular ties in the back. I think this is Krennic's shuttle and the original X-Wing model. And then up top, I think this is going to bring it to a close. We have BB-8. We have the set of R2 and C-3PO in color. We have K2. We have the original, just golden version of C-3PO. There's Rex, Disney exclusive, the silver version, the original R2-D2 with the famous misaligned foot that pops off. We have the Mega R2D2 with one of the original Falcons being held down by a magnet hidden under its base. The red Falcon from Target, also magnet. The Iconics Falcon back here. The Solo Falcon, another Metal Earth Falcon. I ended up building 2 of those. And the Iconics Star Destroyer. And tucked over here is the head alternate version for the C3PO model that I built just to show you how to do it, but never attached it. Somewhere in a case, I have a spare arm for C3PO that I poked some wires in, glued some wires in to have like a severed arm. I should talk to me now. And I think I posted a picture somewhere, and it's in like a case for like something. I don't know where it is. It pops up every now and then. I go, I should put that somewhere. I don't lose it. But yeah, anyway, that was a overview of my current build collection with a few minor exceptions. Sit my butt down. I've been rambling on for 30 minutes now. Oh, look, you can see in the background, let me get my camera sorted here. This thing right here goes up is a couple of pieces of styrofoam. I took a picture of it a while, years ago. It's got random pieces glued to it, and I use it as a quick diorama for the Death Star run. It's supposed to be the channel, and I put one of the X-Wings, and that's why I have 2 TIE fighters back there, because I put an X-Wing and 2 TIE fighters chasing it on that, and took a picture for fun, and it's just been hanging around getting dusty. Very, very dusty, and pieces are coming loose. But yeah, that gets moved around depending on how often it's in the way, because it's an awkward thing to store. This live test has turned into something. There we go. Yeah. So yeah, I'm playing around with a video. It's been fun, and finally gave a quick tour of my models. Oh, there's one that I did leave out because I haven't quite finished the videos for it yet. We have Deadpool with his unicorn. Oh, ripped roaring, ready to go. He's the man. It says so right there. Got Deadpool. Still got to put that one up. Got so many models to build and just no time to build them, and I hate it. I still have my case for the Ikaruga down here, which one of the many models I've yet to build. I said that that's almost all my collection. There are a few random models here and there that I've built and given away, and there are some models that I've built and given to my girlfriend, and they're up in the bedroom. Not going up there. But I have a silver Dalek that I got off of AliExpress because I wanted to give her a different one. I've got another BB-8 that I built her. And there's something else. Oh, Stitch. Stitch is up there. I built Stitch. But I gave it to her, so it's not in the collection. And I built the entire collection of My Little Ponies. And those are in my daughter's room. So they gave them to her. So they're in the house, but they're not down here in my studio. And I don't know that I'll ever build those again for my collection. Maybe someday if I live long enough and get bored enough and run out of models. It's lovely that there's so many companies putting out so many models. It's lovely that Metal Earth keeps coming out with new stuff, and they got to stay relative. They've got to keep coming up with stuff to sell so that they can stay in business. You can't just go, well, here's our collection and sit on your heels. It's not gonna work. I get that. It's fantastic that we keep having this new stuff, not just from Metal Earth, but from P-School, from MU, from Picture Kingdom, and Iron Star is coming out with some really awesome stuff. some of the stuff the Chinese companies are coming out with, I'm not interested in because it's very much aimed for the Chinese culture. That's cool. But there's some of the stuff is amazing. There's so much new stuff coming out, and I want to build it all, and there's just no way I can. No way I can. And it's even harder now that I'm actually working full time, which I've mentioned this before. I wasn't when I started this channel. This channel was started as something to keep me busy. It was a hobby that I enjoyed, and I wanted to start. I wanted to record it to share it with others because I've learned so much from YouTube, and I've found so much on YouTube that I wanted to give back and see where it went. As far as yeah, I was interested to see if what kind of money was to be made. Not that I did it for the money, because I had no expectations I'd ever make any. And I am getting money, and I pour every bit of it back into what I do. None of it goes into my pocket, with the exception of once I build the models, I get to look at them. That is what I get out of it. But it goes to camera equipment, it goes to software, and it goes to models, and some of it's going back to you right now because I've not been buying models, and that's how I'm getting some of these gift cards. I'm not spending it on myself. But yeah, it started as just a let me show other people how to build this, and I just kept doing it until I have, what is it, 200 250 plus models at this point. I haven't counted lately. I still haven't reached 300 unique models. I know there's people out there that have done 500, 600 plus, but in my defense, they're not making videos at the same time. Whether or not they're working or retired, I don't know. Not my business. I was able to build as many as I was able to build because I was disabled. And the days that I felt good, or at least good enough to build models, I did. And I record videos. And yeah, I want to keep doing it, but life is busy now. And between, just trying to get back on my own feet, which I think I've done a great job of. I am working full time. I am making decent money, and I'm proud of that. I'm happy with that. It's wonderful to be able to say, look at what I've been through, and I've come back from it. But it also means that I'm tired all the time, and I'm the spare time that I do have is busy paying bills and cooking dinner and cleaning house and doing laundry and the stuff that we all have to do. Uh, it's I knew this is how it was going to go. I think some people want to point and go, well, yeah, you got to sit on your butt and be disabled. What did you expect? Oh, this is pretty much what I expected. I expected that once I went back to work, once I was healthy enough, I'd have more energy, which is fantastic, but I'd have less time. And there it is. Yeah, I can ramble on. Now, I think I'm going to end it at that. I would like to, at some point, set up live videos where I just live record my builds if I can do it in such a way that I can also simultaneously record it, which I think I can. I would have to invest in I think I can use the camera that I normally use, which is my Canon Vixia, and still record and output through HDMI. Right now I'm outputting HDMI to a old monitor, old computer monitor. So I use that. If you're a Patreon supporter, you've seen the behind the scenes videos. I use that so that I know that my camera's lined up and everything's on camera. I'm sure there's a way I could split that and also output that to a capture card so that I could live feed the video. And maybe someday I'll do that because I want to buy, if I do that, I'm going to have to buy a decent video capture card. I don't want to buy a cheap one and be disappointed. I thought about doing that for this rather than using my phone, which is what I'm doing. But I didn't want to make that investment and not being sure I'm ever going to use it ever again, or at least a reasonable amount. I want to spend $200 or $300 on a video capture card if I'm going to use it once or twice, maybe 3 times, and that's it. It'd be worth it if it's something that I did regularly. But seeing as how I have a difficult time just finding the time to build models now, I decided to just use my phone today and go from there. Anyway, I talk about all these things I'd like to do and want to do, but will I have time to do them? And that's like the bases. I was going to make my own magnetic bases and try to sell them on Etsy, and I just never finished doing that. I just never pushed forward with it. I got a stack of magnets somewhere, which takes forever for me to get, and I don't know. I just kind of dropped it for other things. Didn't push forward with it. Wasn't sure it was worth trying to push forward with it, and it just never came to be. Oh, and there was some disappointment in how it didn't work as well as I thought it would be. I thought I'd get a big old magnet. It'll work for just about any model, but then they saw a lot of them still fall over easy. You'd have to tuck magnets under the base to still make it work. And I thought about including little thin magnets for people to put in there, excuse me, under their bottles to make it work. And it's just like, all right, it's getting too complicated. Just kind of. Anyway, it's almost 5 in the morning. I think I'm gonna go have a bowl of cereal. I haven't eaten yet. I got up a couple hours ago. It's my weekend off. I work third shift, so I'm normally up this time. Though on my nights off, I do tend to nap at night anyway. Sometimes sleeping most of the night. I have to work tonight. I didn't work last night. I should point that out. Last night was my night off. It's Monday now. Tonight I have to work. So at some point I'm going to have to take a nap, but I do plan on being back at 9 o'clock. So, because I at least know this will work. And doing a drawing, I've already got the spreadsheet, and I'll talk a little bit about how I do that, though I'm not going to show anybody's personal information. And we'll do the drawing, and we'll give some gift cards away later today. So I'm looking forward to that. COVID sucks. The fact that people can't be bothered to protect one another, not all of them, sucks. Because we didn't have to be here. People who want to argue about freedoms rather than going, you know what, this is what's best for my community. And I live in a community, and America's supposed to care about each other and be proud of what we are, but no, we're going to be selfish and argue about how covering our ugly faces is a violation of our freedoms rather than just protecting each other and arguing about the point of masks. No, they're not guaranteed to work, but it's better than not wearing them. It's a huge difference. And I'm going to go on a rant here. Rather than just everybody wearing a mask and social distancing and only doing social things when they have to, we could have been done with this. But we can't do that. So here we are. It's Christmas time. I'm accustomed to not seeing most of my family because I live so far away from them. But now I'm not going to even get to spend time with my close family and friends. And got the news yesterday that my girlfriend, who would be coming home, who does wear her mask properly and has remained safe after being on the road for a year of wearing her mask and social distancing when possible and avoiding people, who has avoided catching COVID for an entire year on the road. Masks don't work. May have been exposed and might have to quarantine when she comes home. So that's fantastic. Not happy about that. So I can definitely use the joy of a gift card to give away later today. So we'll see you then. And, as usual, keep on keeping on. Yeah, I got to figure out how to stop this.